to another episode of That's Dope, the podcast where we talk about dope things. My name is Godswold. We got Josh back, and we have a super special guest. We have Thea Trinidad, who I'm still geeking out that you were like down to be on the podcast to geek out about anime and stuff. And I'm just real like, really? You sure? Yeah, I mean, and you know, like it's been really cool to talk with you beforehand, like before all this, you know, and just sort of geek out with you about Naruto. I wore my special Naruto shirt, you know, hope that it would work for this. I'm super excited that you're on the podcast. Thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me. It's great to meet you, Josh, and to see you again. Godswill, it's so funny because like I think that when it comes to anime or gaming or anything that's nerdy, not a whole lot of people that I know share that love. So when I get a chance to just talk about it, I'm all for it. So I'm just like, yes, let's do this. Like I'm stoked. So yeah, and it's funny because when we saw each other last, I was like, I feel like I can talk to you forever about this stuff. So we should just do it.
I wanted to, but I knew that also like you know everyone was being pulled around. Like it was a cool time. Like every time I see you, it's super busy, and like I know everyone wants your attention. So that's why I'm extra excited that you're here because I'm like, let's just actually like talk about this stuff.
You think that's like a part of the space you're in, like that like they just don't have that common interest generally?
Not usually. It's I would say as far as the girls go, maybe one other girl likes Dragon Ball. Her name is Rhea. She's Dragon Ball.
We love Dragon Ball here. Like Dragon Ball's important, but you know, if you just stop at Dragon Ball, then it's like, you're missing so much.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I don't want to gatekeep. That's still something. That's
right.
That's open-minded is the beginning of it. You know what I mean? That's fantastic.
Yeah, so she likes that, and then as far as the guys go, there's probably 3 of them. I know Kofi Kingston loves Naruto. I just got him into Naruto recently, so he's like super into it, which I love. Especially because I know what happens. So I'm just like, oh God, what episode are you on? And then he texted me recently and he's like, you didn't tell me that this person was gonna die and blah blah blah. And I was like,
oh, he's moving.
Yeah, I was like, wait, no, but I was like, what episode are you on? And he's like, oh, where they're fighting the spider guy, and then I was like, oh, keep watching.
So, that's all you can say, unfortunately, right?
Yeah. So Kofi, and then Omos, and then there's Ricochet likes it too. So maybe like 3 or 4 people. So in total, probably just like 6 or 7 of us that really like
grow those numbers. You know, let's get in there and we'll change the whole world, right?
Exactly.
Is it a pretty tight family over there? Like with the WWE roster, like does everyone know each other pretty well, or is everyone clicked up, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Whether it was high school, middle school, and even WWE, I have like I never fit into any clique necessarily. I was just always kind of like, oh, I vibe with this person and this one separately, you know.
That's the idea. That's the way, I think, rather than like stay in your clique and that you don't talk to anybody else, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think same with I don't know, with WWE it's weird because we're all like we see each other sometimes more than our own family. So it's we get used to that whole road life, you know.
Oh yeah, that makes sense though, because like you guys are hosting fights all across the country, right? So you guys probably like how do you travel? Is like we just all get a hotel in the same area, or is it like a big bus? Like what's the system here?
It's so usually they'll fly us into, so say I was when I was on Raw, oh my God. So it depends on if you're on Raw or SmackDown. And then if you're tag team champion, which I was until WrestleMania is when I lost it. But if you're tag team champion, you have to do both shows. So when I was doing that, I would fly out on I would fly out on Fridays to do the live events Saturdays and Sundays, wherever that was. And then I would do the show on Monday. Wait, no, I lied. I had to do Friday Night SmackDown. So I had to fly out Thursday, then do the show Friday for SmackDown, do the live event Saturday and Sunday, and then do Raw on Monday. And then I'd be home Tuesday, Wednesday. So
okay, at least you have to go home, but still.
Yeah, it was like 2 days a week that you're home, maybe. It depends on if they have you doing interviews, if you got to fly out to, you know, do an appearance or whatever it is. So sometimes you wouldn't even get days at home.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, guys. You want to say something?
No. I mean, I'm just gonna say like I knew you were strong, but also it's like with that schedule, you know, I'm just like, whew. And
I
I'm
got
used
like,
to
I got
it,
two
though.
questions now. I got two questions that are a little loaded. So it's like, hey, you can just ignore me if you want to. If you don't want to answer.
next question. Get this guy
Yeah.
out of here.
So okay, first question is pretty simple. It's like I'm in like I used to be a wrestling fan when I was younger. I kind of like I just kind of watch random YouTube clips now for the most part. Like I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like I saw the Hardy Boys came back into the thing, and yeah, when I was a kid, Jeff Hardy was like Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio are my favorite. So that was like,
Mine too.
yeah, like I just like the high flyer thing. I thought that was cool as shit when I was a kid. So I was like, oh, that kind of hit me a little bit. But my thing was like with Raw and SmackDown, even like after years, I never understood what the difference was. It's just two different organizations that work together constantly. Is that what it is, or
No, so it's all under the WWE umbrella. But for Raw, you have specific people that are on that show, and then SmackDown, specific people on that show. So they usually don't cross too much. So if you want to see, for instance, if you want to see the Hardy Boys, but they're on Raw, you'd watch it on Monday. But you want to see Rey Mysterio, he's on SmackDown, which is on Friday. So the only way to watch both of them is to tune into both shows. So they make sure they kind of mix it up so they can get the most viewership, I guess.
right? That makes sense. Okay.
So yeah, but it's all under one umbrella.
I guess the second question, and again, you can just straight up ignore me if you want to.
I feel like I know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, you probably do. Like, because this has been a thing. Like I remember. Okay, so as a kid, I was very like I'd played the SmackDown 2000 game, and I was like, this got to be real. There's no way this ain't real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then I got older, and of course, I was like, okay, the sock puppet can't actually hurt people. There's no way that works.
Yeah.
I mean,
have
it
you
can.
tried it?
Yeah, right. I was like, I feel like it absolutely can.
My thing
Oh,
was
it
like,
could suck.
kind of gross. But I'm like, I don't know if I tap to it. But it's like, my thing was like, so how much of this is scripted and how much of it is like, hey, go out there and just do your thing, and the performance like we'll let it play out.
So it depends, right? But like, so usually going into it who's gonna win. Like okay, you're usually when you get to the building, it's like, yeah, okay, you're gonna have a match with so and so, you're gonna win. And if it plays into a certain story, there's always like little things that they'll tell you, like, oh, you have to make sure you do this, or you have to make sure you hit this mark, or you have to, here your time is 7 minutes, you get 2 segments, 4 and 5 or whatever. So it's a TV show, so ultimately like you know what's going to happen, but as far as what's going to happen in the match, you plan that with the person that you're with, and if you know the person well enough to just go, hey, let's call it out there, you can do that too. So it really depends on who you're with, how long you've been working for them, working with them, and what's the what the storyline is, so like for instance, if it's a contract signing or something like that, we know what's going to be said, what's going to be done. And what's cool now is that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon kind of took over. So they, especially when it comes to me, because they've known me for a while, so it's like, hey, we already can trust you on the microphone, you're not going to say anything that's going to get us in trouble, you're going to keep to your character, so here's the skeleton of what we need from you, and just fill in the meat, so that's kind of how it goes.
That is so cool. It's insane because like I hear about the storylines, and I'll watch I just watch random YouTube videos like putting off like the legacies together and like the storylines of all these different characters. And I always thought that was cool. I was like, that's interesting. Like if you look at it like that, like if you're not one of those guys who's just mad that it's fake, and you're like, okay, dude, like it's just like TV, right? It's just like bad of TV. It's just fun.
I'm always impressed by it though. Like it's like so much more work into it, and like it just looks so painful all the time. And
it is.
Like, the fact that you guys are like actually like literally flipping over each other or on each other or like onto the floor or whatever, I'm like, even if this is scripted, it's like you're still doing this, right?
It's a play though. It's a physical play, right?
Well, so we always say that we're actors, but if you think about it like this, right? Most actors have however many takes to get it right. They can have months of time to study their lines. We literally are actors, like stunt actors. We do everything in one take. It's like you go out there, you're physical, you're athletes, you get one take, so don't mess it up. And also don't get hurt, don't hurt your opponent, and like make sure you remember every single line for the thing that you have to go out and talk about. And then if you have like a promo and then a match right after, so you gotta remember the promo, you gotta remember the match, you gotta remember what's happening. If there's more than one person involved, you know, like there's so many things. Then also if you're usually if I'm in a storyline with someone, I've always been the bad guy. So I enjoy being the bad guy personally. But I know, okay, if I want the crowd to cheer for the good guy, I have to build sympathy for them. So I have to be you said we can curse on this, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I was like, well, I have to be the asshole and like, basically like I have to, while I'm kicking their ass in the ring, like during the match, the crowd, like it's just the way that the baby face or the good guy builds sympathy is like, you'll see them reaching out for somebody. You'll see them like the way that they're like, we say selling, but the way that we, show like the pain in our faces or whatever. There's like little things we usually like to concentrate on, like one person in the audience, and you'll see like if I see that they're really into it, I'll go and reach for them so that they feel like they're a part of it and that they're helping us, so there's little things that we'll do. Or sometimes if I see like if I'm in the ring with Liv Morgan, for instance, and I see that there's a girl in the front row with a Liv Morgan shirt, I'm going to mess with her the whole time. So
Like it.
yeah,
So
it's
wow,
fun,
like at the moment of too, that's crazy to think about that, like, and to not mess up on TV, right?
Mm-hmm. So again, yeah, you get one take, and it's I feel like people don't give it the respect I feel that it's due, because again, it's like when the people say fake, it's I always, for people like who say like, oh my god, like this is so easy, they could just do this, it's like a trampoline. I always say, please come and try it just one time, just try it. You tell me if you're cool with doing that 3 days a week, 4 days a week,
It's dangerous, it seems like constant. Some of those moves are like, they're literally like inches away from like paralyzing people sometimes. It's kind of nuts. Like you have to be on it. And that's what I was going to ask you, like how.
Also, Josh did MMA for a while too, for a long time actually. So a little bit of his background. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Sorry. What were you about to say, Josh?
No, you're good, man. No, it's like, so when you're doing this stuff, has there ever, like, in your opinion, who has been, I'm not gonna say who, don't even answer that. Has there ever been anybody, no names need to be included, that you're just like, I don't want to wrestle that person. Like they're way too rough. They don't know what the hell they're doing. Like how often does that become a problem? Because I remember we had a person from MMA come over to wrestling at one point, and I remember seeing tabloids of that all over the place. Again, I'm not saying names.
Are you talking about Ronda?
I don't know who that is, first off. So, but if you want to answer that question, go ahead.
Honestly, I love Ronda. I absolutely love Ronda. And here's the thing. She wasn't just some bozo off the street who decided to do this on a Tuesday. Like, she was one of the best, like one of the absolute best. And if she made that career change to go into WWE, it's like that brings in her fans, that mixes our fans with hers, and then it's something that people don't get to see usually. You're like, oh, I would love to see how she matches up with this person or whatever. The people who get mad that Ronda's there are the people who are upset that they're not getting that opportunity. Like,
I like it.
I mean, really, because she to me anyway, she's been nothing but sweet. She's been nothing but respectful. Like, she puts in the work, and it's like, and she's a gamer, so I love that. But like, she's super sweet and super cool. And like, again, I feel that when it comes to people who are like not stoked that she's there, I give her credit, because not only does she have to get shit from the fans of UFC, but she also gets the shit from the wrestling fans of WWE. And she just says, screw it, like I'm just gonna do this and have fun doing it. And it's ultimately like, it's her life. And I hate that people get so like, I hate that she's there and she's like shitting on the business and and I'm like, okay, but regardless, she is bringing money. So can you?
Right. So in your opinion, like, you think it's more of a narrative that specific women are spinning on her, just make her like, oh, she's so terrible at this, like she's so rough and she's whatever. You think that's more of a narrative that they're painting?
Well, it depends, right? Because I've never been in the ring with her in that sense where I've taken any moves from her, so I can't say if she's rough or not. However, she does have a background of UFC, so it's like,
what's rough to her might not be
right. What's rough to her may not, and vice versa, So, but I do think that the girls, they like to match it. And anybody who I've seen her get in the ring with, if she's done something to them and I can kind of see like, oh, that might have been a little, they match it. And then you just, you know what I mean? And it's tit for tat, really. But I've never been in the ring with her, so I can't say, but I will say, like, if they have gotten hurt or something has happened, I can't see it being on purpose. I cannot see that from Ronda. Like, she's just too like good of a person that I've gotten to know. That I don't see her being malicious. I don't see her trying to take shit out on people or specifically trying to hurt people for any reason. So I mean, everybody has their own personal relationships with people, but I love that she's with us. So
that's dope.
Oh, shit.
That's dope. And also, that's pretty brave, I guess, to be able to withstand hatred from just so many different sides and then just keep doing what you're doing. You know, people are really rooting for her downfall, but she's
at
it, right?
They got bad when she left the Well, they got bad while she was in the UFC.
I remember that for sure. Yeah. Like, and it definitely seemed a lot more than just like, oh, I don't like her. It really seems unfortunate, but that's dope. That's tough. I hate how toxic things are becoming these days. Like, I do wonder if it's more because of the internet or, you know, we're just seeing it more, but, you know, people are just always horrible. Yeah. Yeah.
Possibly. And I think too, like, one of the things that Ronda has also like mentioned, I believe in interviews and stuff, her and I have talked about this, but mental health is such a big thing that I feel like people aren't taking into account when it comes to what they say or what they spout out, or if they're trolling or whatever. That has an effect on someone, whether they're, you know, the president or some random guy off the street. Like, it's going to affect everybody different. It's always going to affect people, you know, even if they say like, oh no, like it's somehow, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's tough either way. And people don't realize the effect that it could have on someone. And, you know, I think that I wish that people would take into consideration, like, okay, that's a person too. That's someone's daughter. That's someone's mom. That's someone's, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. Humans suck. That's why I have 7 kids.
Right. I feel that. No, like, I mean, how have you been, I guess, like with like the spotlight on you too, right? Like, it seems you seem pretty balanced.
Yeah. But again, this is why, like I say, I'm such a recluse though. I'm usually like, when I am home, I don't really go out. Me and my husband will stay here. We'll play, what are we playing right now? We just played Resident Evil again for the,
which one?
The one with Sheva. What's the one? Is it Resident Evil
5?
5.
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
That shit is bomb as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're playing that one again. So I just actually on the Steam Deck, I downloaded. Do you remember Sonic Adventure Chaos Island? I think it's Sonic Adventure 2. Do you remember that one?
What you want to talk about here?
Let's get into it.
What are we doing here?
Let's get into it.
Yeah, I just re-downloaded that because someone reminded me of it, and I was like, oh my god, I need to play that again. So yeah, we're just playing random, but that's usually it. We'll hang out on the couch, play video games, hang out with our cats, and that's it, you know. So
you're onto something.
When I'm out there, I'm Zelina, and I can be a total, I would say, like, I am the biggest asshole ever, and it's great because I don't know, I'm never like the cheer for me, I love humans kind of person. I'm very like, stay away, don't like your kid, go away from me. But you know, so I'm Zelina out there, and I can kind of get into that mindset and become her. But when I'm home, I'm completely just chill and just completely laid back. So I even have to have that too, because if not, you're gonna go crazy.
Right.
It's a good thing you said that, because before you mentioned Sonic Adventure, I was literally typing up a tweet right now about how you were a fake nerd. So
yeah, well, some people think that though. Some people think that, and here's the weird thing, right? So when I was in like middle school, high school, I was the person that people like made fun of because I had, you know, wrestling pictures. I had the Hardys actually on my locker. Had the Hardys, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, and The Rock and Lita in my locker, right? And you know, like some anime stuff and whatever, and people always like mess with me, like they would just like pick them off, or they try to like, I hated people. But anyways, so I would always get made fun of that stuff when I was so I'd get made fun of that stuff when I was a kid. But then now it's like the super cool thing to do, and you see all these like e-girls like, yeah, I totally love Naruto and Sasuke and Pokemans, they're so cool. And ooh, yeah, right, you know what I mean? Like I hate that. It makes me like my whole melt all the way off. But yeah, it's funny because people are like, oh yeah, well, Zelina's like the pretty girl who pretends that she likes, anime, blah blah blah. Listen, first of all,
You're
I didn't look
doing
like
it
all the time. It took had a very slow progression to get to this point. I didn't always like look like that. So
Right.
it's one of those things where like you develop the fun personality first, and then whatever happens
then you
afterwards,
get hot, right?
whatever, but
We've actually
No, I
talked about
feel
this
that.
phenomenon. No, we've talked about this a couple of times where it's like the people who started off a little goofy looking had to develop personality. So then when they do turn out attractive, you're like, oh, this is a complete person.
It works out. Yeah. You can't get hot.
Complete person that people don't believe it though. And then when you start talking about Sonic Adventure, you start talking about Naruto, and you can be like, hey, listen, I have every kind of tattoo possible with Naruto. Like, don't play with me. Like,
no, honestly, that's the most badass tattoo. Like that's what like made me like, oh, she's for real, like that's some sick shit.
The gatekeeping is real for sure.
I know it is. It's unfortunate, but we're getting. It does bum me out like how people used to hate it and then can sort of wear it as persona. But I do love it like when people like actually live it. Even if you're like a new person, if you live it out for real, like you really are about this shit, like we are, right?
Absolutely.
And, yeah. Like I'm happy to see, like honestly, like seeing you do that. Like I think like when you first, like when I saw like one of your actually multiple costumes, and then I was like, oh, this is exactly what the culture needs, to like see that people like you are doing it. It's like, oh, we gotta get into it. We gotta get into all that.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you're. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, I think the fact that you're into it, it's like, okay, so it's like one of those things where you're into it, you're a public figure, you're a pretty girl or a pretty woman. It sounds really misogynist. You're a pretty woman. And it's just like, it's one of those things where it's just like with Meg Thee Stallion and how she's like kind of into it. But you seem so normal. And I think that's weird, right?
Balanced, yeah.
But it's like you are normal. And that's what really gets a lot of other people to be like, let me check it out. Let me try it. Let me try Attack on Titan. Let me try whatever it might
Sailor
be.
Moon or Naruto, whatever, right? Yeah,
because
actually gives you a chance that you might have passed on because you were like, oh, this is for kids or whatever. But then you actually see balanced people out there that aren't like, oh my god, but actually like,
not everyone's Naruto running around the cafeteria, bro. Like,
that was me.
Just like it. Like, it's cool. It's like at the end of the day,
it was cool to have done it only that 1 year. I feel like 2007 to 2009, and then after that, not cool. It was like
okay.
It was never okay. It was like acceptable if you do it. It was acceptable because it was like, okay, whatever you're doing, you're just doing it at that time, right? Now it's like, what do you know what you're doing? Actually, no.
Yeah.
Now it'd be even better to do it, but
I think it's more acceptable now.
I asked. Well, so Vince was obviously in charge before Triple H and Stephanie, but I asked him, I was like, can I Naruto run to the ring? And he's like, what's a Naruto? I don't even know what that is. And I was like,
what's a Naruto?
I was like, okay. And then I wanted, so basically, and I don't even know if you know this, Josh, but I had Neil Kaplan, who's the English voice actor for Madara. I had him do my entrance music for when I enter. Basically, when my music hit, you hear, because I won the Queen's Crown tournament, so I was Queen of WWE, still technically Queen because they haven't had another tournament yet. So, but yeah, but he when you hear like the music start, you hear his voice and Madara saying, "All hail the Queen, Queen Zelina," and then the music would start, and then I'd walk out.
Oh,
but the way that I had to do that was I was like, hey Vince, so I really think if we're talking about trying to blend the worlds of WWE, and like we all have similar like similar crowds, anime, gaming, whatever, and so I want Madara Uchiha for my entrance music. He's like, I don't know what that is. I was like, okay, so do you know what Crunchyroll is? And he's like, sushi. And I'm like, okay. So
fair.
Crunchyroll is like the Netflix of anime. And he's like, okay, I get that. I was like, okay. Naruto is like the WWE of anime. And he's like, okay, I like Naruto. I'm like, yeah, yes.
We're getting there.
Yeah. So I was like, well, Madara is kind of like what Paul Heyman is to Roman. And he's like, we need it. I'm like, okay,
Hey.
cool.
Wow,
So
look at that.
yeah,
I was thinking it was gonna take like a few classes, but wow,
That was perfect
for
analogies.
real. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So yeah, and then he was like, perfect, we need it. And then it was literally set into motion. I want to say it took like a few days. And because the way that it played out too, and it's so weird because every time I say that I'm going to cosplay, and I don't write it out there because I like to keep it a secret until it's like, I show up in the gear. But every time I make a decision, okay, I'm going to cosplay this person, something comes out of it, like something happens. So I had made the decision. I was talking to my gear guy. I was like, I want to be Madara Uchiha for the Royal Rumble this year. He's like, okay, cool. So we started like everything in motion or whatever. And I was on a plane. God, this is so embarrassing. But I was on a plane and I saw Steve Staley, who's Neji, and I'm pretty sure Steve thinks I'm a psychotic person. So fine, it's whatever. I understand that because I'm obsessed with him. But so Neji, obviously. But I'm on a plane and I see Steve, and I was heading to LA where I know that Brian Donovan, who's Rock Lee's voice actor, that we were heading there to LA. And I knew Brian from for a while because him and I already talked and whatever, but I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm on a plane with Neji. We're going over to LA where Rock Lee lives, and I can be like their 1010. I had space buns on actually at the time. So I was like, this is kind of cool. So I tweeted it. And then Neil tweeted me saying something about that you can be 1010, that's fine. But if you need a bad guy, I know a guy. And I was like, oh my God, that's Madara. That's fucking Madara Uchiha. Like, what the fuck? So I was like nerding out and I was like, oh my God. So then we followed each other, or he had followed me back. And then I was like, this is so cool. Like, you're awesome, blah, blah, blah. And we ended up talking about my entrance music. And he's like, yeah, I do that. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
So yeah, it was crazy. And then by the time it happened and it all came together, it was perfect. It was like, by the time my music hit, I forgot tell me how crazy this is, right? I'm cosplaying Madara Uchiha. Sasha Banks is cosplaying as Sailor Moon, right?
Yeah.
Stuff and things.
And that wasn't planned, right? Like that, you just like you hadn't even told anyone that you're doing that, and she just did that too, huh?
And she just so happened to randomly do it too. But
That's
like,
crazy.
So what ended up happening was music hits. I'm coming out. You hear Madara's voice. I entered dressed in his like the armor. I had the fan and everything.
Yes.
Like the fan, and the way that my gear guy made the fan, I was like, you are a lord at this, because it was like perfect. And so I had the fan coming out, I was taking off the crown and then the armor and the fan, I was putting it all down. I was like, oh my God, I didn't think about this. I'm supposed to be running to the ring, but I'm like taking off all this shit at the same time, trying to run. And by the time I got in there, someone pointed this out, but I was supposed to eliminate Sasha. Right. So I did. I eliminated her, and I was a total douchebag about it. I said something like, what's a boss to a queen, bitch, or whatever I said. I don't remember. But
you're
by
the
the time,
worst.
I know, when you're in that mindset, like
you live
just
it.
say things,
especially
like,
Madara. Come on now.
Yeah.
That's the
you
time
just,
to talk the most mad shit, right?
yeah. Yeah. And like, and it was great because by that time, like, of course, she being the good guy, everybody was like super pissed at me. So now there's a video of when I actually did it of like the whole crowd behind me getting super pissed. Like you just see them like jump up pissed off. So I was like, in my head, I'm saying these like shitty things to her, but what I'm really saying is thank you. And like, you know what I mean? Because we have this like understanding, like we know it's,
It's actually tight. Yeah.
So
right.
Yeah. But somebody goes, oh my God, by Zelina eliminating Sasha, Madara eliminating Sailor Moon.
Canon.
Madara you get what I'm going
yes,
right?
like this is canon.
Right. So I was like, oh my God. And they're like, oh my God, Infinite Tsukiyomi. And I was like, oh my God. It wasn't planned. It wasn't like, none of that was planned. So it just, again, this is where I love when little things like this happen. Like I know like oh my God, what's his name? I just watched him fight. Unfortunately, he lost. I was so pissed. Adesanya, when he was talking about when he was like, you know what I mean? When he was with like, Rock Lee, he was doing his like Rock Lee pose and then like Madara. And it just so happened to be like that. This was the same kind of scenario, same with my Rengoku one I just did. Did I show you that picture?
Yeah, I saw it on the channel and I thought that was heat.
Dude, it wasn't planned at all. She just so happened to have the fingers like Akaza. And I was like, okay, wait a second. This is literally like, I've seen this in an anime before. Yeah, I'm gonna dip because I'm not
you know what's about to happen.
Yeah, so but that's what's fun about, you know, integrating anime and like wrestling, and you get the kids who like know. They're like, oh, I remember when there's like this little girl came up to me, she's like, so I have a question for you. And I was like, okay. This little girl, like she knew what she was like all about, like smart as hell. I have a question for you. I was like, okay, what's up? She's like, your name is Zelina Vega. So when you cosplayed Vega, that was Vega from Street Fighter. So then technically, wouldn't that be the reason that your name is Vega, is because you like Street Fighter because you're a nerd? And I was like, oh my God, you figured it out. Yes, that's exactly why.
Wow.
So it's
that's
so
beautiful
cool.
also that she came up with that, right?
Yeah, she like came here, like she figured it all out, like as if she had like a eureka moment, and she was like, I figured you out, bitch. Like this is it. I was like, yeah, you got it.
That's
So,
dope.
yeah.
I'm glad to hear like also like just more and more people are becoming nerds like that, you know, children. And also that like, man, okay, so many questions to ask right now. I guess yeah, I'm just like, where do we even start? I do want to ask who are your favorite Naruto characters, favorite villain, favorite protagonist, favorite characters overall?
Ooh, okay. So people are gonna hate me when I say certain things. Because the last time I said something like this, oh my God, I got like people like saying like, oh, I hope you die, blah blah blah.
Dang.
But because
Weird.
this is what I tweeted. I said exactly. It's funny that when Sakura enters the Uchiha bloodline, all of a sudden they need glasses.
That's the truth though. Also, you're not. That's absolutely correct. Come on now. Although Sarada is pretty tight.
I ain't never heard something more true than that in my life.
Sarada is pretty cool, but it's very true.
So that's where, and I just said, I was like, I'm just saying. I don't like Sakura like that. And dude, there was so many people that were just like, Sakura would beat your ass in real life. What? In real life? Really? Okay, that's neat. Yeah. So,
when she comes out of that TV, she's gonna kill you.
Well, in real life, she wouldn't have any power. She'd probably get smashed. Right. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So I get so much heat for hating Sakura. Like,
that's hilarious.
I hated Sakura, and I like even now, like I get mad. So
like, did you hate her early on, or like in Shippuden, like more so?
No, since Jump Street, dude, I hated her right off the bat. Because
honestly, yeah, I hated her back in the day, and then Shippuden got worse, sort of.
Yeah.
She had moments.
She had moments in Shippuden. She had moments in Shippuden, but then it just was like, yo, what are you doing to your whole legacy?
I was like, can I trade you for Neji, please?
Right.
I wanted to ask you about that. Yo, how did you feel about that? Like,
yes.
Spoilers. You can skip, a minute into the future if you want.
Yeah, but I'll put some tags on or whatever. Right? But yes, how did you feel about that moment?
How did you feel about that? Give me your synopsis on that situation, because I already know how I feel. I think everyone else.
Okay, so the way, honestly, I was so pissed when it happened. I didn't watch it for like 2 weeks. Like I couldn't. First of all, I was fucking bawling. I was like, and I was trying, because my husband was next to me, and I was like, all right, because I don't want him to like notice. So I'm like sitting there like like mad, right? And he's like, are you good? I was like, I'm good, man. Just fucking gangsta tears, bro. I'm good. And he was like, what's going on? I was like, all right, so fucking Neji, right? And then I go into the whole thing, but I was pissed because I felt like it was unnecessary.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
It came out of nowhere. And then if you notice, the first time that he like skips out on death with the fucking what's it called? What's the guy's name with the spider with he was throwing like those kind of like wooden needles. Basically, the way he skipped death the first time is how he basically ended his life at the end.
Right. Also, his move should.
But like it was like some random random NPC character.
Right.
It was like a filler episode.
Some big person trying to kill him. Right.
Yeah. No, it was like a filler.
It's something he's be able to block. Right.
Well, the thing is, he blocks everything. And he has like 1 degree that he can't see things on.
Yep.
But it's just like Neji's so skilled at that point. Like he's the only Jonin in the whole team. and some random NPC just threw a thing and killed him. And I was like, what?
Well, that's the part. And then I hated Obito because I was like, you had a part in this. And then you also trolled him afterwards and said like, oh, I thought your friends were gonna die. Ho, ho, ho. And I'm like, I hope you die. Like I really do. But here's the part where I'm like, Hinata, hope you die.
I'm about to say, like, how do you feel about Hinata?
I hate her with every fiber of my being, almost as much as I hate Sakura. And here's the thing, right? First of all, they had to give Hinata my birthday, right? So off rip, pissed.
Wow.
Because Capricorns don't claim her. That's number one.
When's your birthday?
December 27th.
That's pretty cool. Mine's the 31st, December 31st.
Oh,
Capricorns, hey. But
yeah.
wow, I didn't know Hinata's birthday's then.
This bitch is putting the fucking like mark on our Capricorn. Anyway, so what happened was.
No, I agree. I feel the same way you actually feel about Hinata too, although not as strongly. But I don't like her. But
wait,
I love
what makes y'all not like her? Because I don't really fuck with her like that. But like I don't not like her.
So. Oh no, you should not like her, and I'll tell you why. Because the whole show, all she wanted to hear from Neji was like, "You can do it. I believe in you." Blah blah blah. Like. She just wanted that validation from Neji so bad the whole show. And by the time she actually got it, his body wasn't even cold yet. Yeah. And he's telling her, Hinata, like, you know, I believe in you. You got this, blah, blah. And then you see in that moment, she goes, oh, okay, Naruto. And she just completely.
Yes.
Like, as if like, he bye and goes right back to fucking simping for Naruto.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. She was not like her own character. Like she was just there to be Naruto's.
That, to be honest, that happens in a lot of shonen though. Like
but that's not good though.
Not fleshed out. Like,
no. I mean, because like, look, I wanted strong female characters. I was actually starting to love Sakura at the beginning of Shippuden with that first arc, and I'm with you. Like, I wish Hinata was like her own person versus just like I just want to be with Naruto and just all the time about it.
That pain scene was pretty sick. I'm gonna give it
I didn't even feel that personally. Like
she is not Queen Konoichi. She is just punching air at that point.
Yeah, she's not cold. She's not cold, but it's like here's the thing. I thought that scene was dope. Like maybe it's just animation, but I thought it was dope. Never really liked Hinata because she reminds you of the Uwu girls. She's all cute and like, I hate that shit. I hate it. But yeah, it's a lot of that. I hate it. I'm like, yo. Learn how to speak to people. You're an adult. But I don't know.
I had hope for her. And I was just hoping that she would just be her own person more than just only there for Naruto. And, you know, like that pain moment, like was cool. I don't know. I personally felt iffy about it. So
I don't know. I honestly, if I could, I would trade Sakura. And this is going to sound so bad, but I mean it. I would trade Sakura, Hinata, Shino.
Shino.
I like Shino. I like him, but if somebody said, "Listen, you can get Neji back, but you gotta like nerf these characters," I'm like, okay.
Who else is in the sacrifice pile?
Yeah, I'd be
like, who the sacrifice? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was it. I would sacrifice.
Okay, so there's the three. Okay, so Shino, what does Shino do to deserve being in the sacrifice pile though?
It's honestly, it's nothing personal. He didn't capture me like that.
That's fair. You know, who else didn't do anything? Fair. No, didn't do anything. 10-10.
Ooh, yeah, take her too. I'll turn her.
No, like,
I had more hope for her, especially when she got that legendary weapon. I was hoping that she would do something cool.
I don't even remember that scene anymore, bro. That's how long ago it was.
She got like a fan that was supposed to like suck your chakra, and then
y'all are children. Both of y'all are children. No, like.
And babe, you got the fan tonight? Sorry.
Yo, bring the fan in.
I'm glad you saw the joke in there. I saw it and I was like, no.
Yeah, can't leave that one.
No, man. I'm like, you have you seen Jujutsu Kaisen at all?
So I've seen a little bit of it. I'm actually trying to get back into it, but I feel like I need to rewatch. Yeah, I feel like I need to rewatch it though, because it was one of those things where I was watching Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen at the same time.
Yeah,
and then I was getting confused. I was like, wait, did that happen there? No. And then I need to concentrate on one at a time. So I'm like, no, I'm going to finish Attack on Titan and then I'm going to go back to Jujutsu Kaisen.
Because Jujutsu Kaisen is getting another season coming up. And I've heard it's supposed to be long. I'm not really sure on that. But if it covers as much as we think it's going to cover, there's a character in there that goes crazy. And she's very reminiscent of a way better. She's a better character developed Tenten. Like,
so what Tenten should have been.
Yes.
Yeah, Tenten is a weapon master. That's what she was. Like, she has a bunch of different weapons. She can use all of them. And she just became nobody. And they forgot to use her. It's like she was pretty much dead the whole series. So if you liked her in the Naruto, it's like she's nothing. They have a woman character who's actually developed in this series, and she is one of the best women characters I've ever seen written.
There's multiple women
I'd
characters
like
in
to
Jujutsu
voice
Kaisen.
her.
That'd be live.
Dude, no, I just did a voiceover workshop with Adam MacArthur. So obviously with Jujutsu Kaisen. So like it's it was funny because as actually I did it here in this room too.
Oh,
but yeah, I was like thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, like I need to jump back into that. But crazy the things that you learn, like voice acting just does not get the credit that it deserves. Like
no, people still love the shit on it, and that makes me mad though, because it's people want to say it's 1990s still, right? Like where it's just like, oh, I must stop you, villain, versus like the actual craft that it is today.
It's crazy the amount of like just the amount that goes into it. It's really, really mind-blowing. And so I'm like, I'd love to voice her. I really wanted to voice Daki, but that came and went, obviously.
Yeah, if you were to voice this character, like just the way you speak now, I think it'd be sick as hell. And I'm not even sucking up to you. Like, I think that'd be dope as hell. I don't know who voices.
Although you're talking about Maki though, right?
Yeah, did she have an English?
Maki's already out. Yeah, they already have a dub for her.
Yeah, I didn't watch English. I couldn't say.
I was like,
but I'm like, that'd been sick. That would have been live. I mean, I'm hopefully you can get a dope character who's got like some kind of like.
There's still more characters. There's a lot more cool characters overall. So like, I like Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like it fixed a lot of the character problems, especially like with women. I hate like when there's like just weak women and just like, just like you guys can do so much more. You guys are supposed to be equal, and then just
they're there to support the man and somewhere to show how important the man is to the story.
Yeah.
Remember what happened with Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Like Chi-Chi is nobody.
Yeah, I was like, which one are you talking about? It was like
Chi-Chi's just the annoying wife of Goku. That's what she became. Like she had a character arc in Dragon Ball, and then she became nobody. And then Bulma became like, hey, here's some weapons, but I don't really have any characters.
Bulma's cool. I would say Bulma's cool.
Honestly, I think Bulma's funny as hell. Like when we were watching the movie, I was like, I mean, listen, not that I would use the Dragon Balls for that. Opposed to using it for that either.
Wow.
What was it? What she wish for? What did she want to wish for?
She got her butt bigger.
Oh, that's live.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember like Frieza like got taller, 5 centimeters taller, like in the movie before. That was hilarious.
Yo, and they didn't go with that wish. I can't remember.
2 wishes I wouldn't mind having.
Just low-key wishes. Although, why not use technology though, right?
But Jim probably was without that.
I have to do surgery, and then it's like, oh, you gotta sit down, or
I gotta sit down and heal. Oh no. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're busy. I get it, but at the same time, it's like Bulma. You got all the money in the world. You're the richest person.
It's not the same though. Not the same. The dragon make it real.
Right, and then it just have it instantly instead of having to like go.
No stitches.
Although, is that what you would wish for? Like of all wishes you could possibly have, that's the one you would go for?
How many?
If my girl wanted that, bro.
Wow, you are a saint.
Whatever she wants, bro. I'll go to Namek and get the Dragon Balls. That's what she wants.
Just fight off Frieza and the Namekians. No worries, right? I feel okay. I'm gonna say you get 2 wishes because I don't know how many wishes you get these days with Dragon Balls.
Well, they got 3. They got 3 in that last one.
Was that 3 in the movie?
Yeah, I feel like they got 3. Was it not
That's
3?
what I was wondering.
Yeah. It depends on the dragon, because there's like the Namekian dragon. I think gives you 1.
No,
and the
gives
other
you
one
3.
gives you 3.
No, Namekian one gives you 3. The Earth one gave you 1, and then things have been changing up a lot in Super.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm not a lord.
So I'll give you 2 wishes.
Okay. Well, so I know what like the douchebaggery wish that I would have, but
go ahead. It is your wish. Don't worry. Like, no judgment yet.
I mean, not necessarily, right? Because I it's so hard for me to be like, I absolutely would want this thing.
Yes.
It's so difficult. Like there's like tons of things I'd want, but I think I'd want for I wish for my family to have like we'd be immortal and like everlasting health. We'd all be healthy and happy and be frozen in time. Like all of us, we don't change. We don't get older. Don't get
Even
younger.
when the earth blows up?
Huh?
Even when the earth blows up one of these days?
There's no earth blowing up in this dream wish.
Okay,
thing.
I like it. Okay, yes. Sorry. Let me not interrupt.
Yep. And the cats don't die. Like nothing happens. We're here until we say we're peacing out. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? That's wish one.
Okay,
and then
I like that.
two would probably be, I want to have like the perfect, I don't have to work out. I don't have to like nothing. My endurance is like high as hell. I have to work out, I have to eat right, nothing. I could have my freaking worms and be fine. Probably that. And to grow taller. So that's like
third wish.
Well, no.
That would just be like perfect body, I guess, in a way.
Perfect body, yeah.
Okay.
And it'd be that. Yeah,
that'd be so rough. I don't know if the dragon would do it because maybe he would, because like to say perfect body, the dragon would be like, that's subjective. You know what I mean? Like,
and I'd be like, and here are the requirements.
Right. You got the list already, right? It's like, well, if you need the list, I got you.
Yeah, for sure. But there was a question that you had asked earlier that I didn't answer, and it just popped into my head. Itachi is actually my favorite. I know everybody says that. And everybody says
he's
that.
tight though. Josh got it. Yeah, I guess we should talk about Itachi, because even though I agree, Itachi is tight. But it is wild that he killed his whole family just because the government told him to.
It is. and like, but then what's the alternative? They end up killing everybody anyway.
So here's the thing. Here's what because I got on a post, like there's like a Naruto fan thing, and I usually don't say anything on the internet because I don't want to fight people. I don't want to see the notifications, and like I get drawn into conflict way too easily. So I was like, for my peace of mind, don't comment, right?
Sure.
But this one Saturday I was having fun, and I was like, let me just jump in here. It was like, it showed me a little thing. Yeah, straight up. It was a picture of Itachi as a kid. And it was like, did you know that Itachi, when he was going for the Chunin exams, he put the guy he was fighting with in the finals in a genjutsu that killed him like 1,000 different ways. The kid he was fighting with, he killed 1,000 different ways in his mind. And then the kid would like retired from being a ninja and couldn't fight anymore. And I was like, and everyone was like, oh my God. The comments were like, yo, Itachi's so badass. Oh my God, he's the best. I'm like, yo, he sounds like a sociopath. This is not normal behavior for children to like put another child into a genjutsu like that.
I don't know if I could do that to someone. I don't know. It depends on who it is. I mean, maybe. But
I definitely agree. Like, it depends who it is. It's like Danzo, absolutely. Put
as a
guy.
Child Danzo. Before Danzo became Danzo. Danzo playing Sonic Adventures, like, I'm gonna go win this tournament, and you kill him 1,000 times.
It depends. Did they have beef prior?
No, the kid was from the Cloud Village, so it was a little black child. Now you feel different, right? Now you feel bad. You should.
Wow.
You know what? And I'm also biased because Itachi's my ninja zaddy, so I can't even like.
Yeah. Hey, at least you kept it honest too. I appreciate that.
That's what I think it is. I think it's the.
He's cool though. Like he's cool. Although, like when we had that conversation, I was like, okay, yeah, that is a lot. For me, I'm still like sort of hung up on like, wow, you killed your whole entire extended family except for your immediate brother because the government told you to.
But then it would end up killing everybody anyway, right? Like, wasn't that the other? It's basically, hey, you all die, or except you die, you two.
Now remember, I thought about this too, because like I might be wrong, because again, I'm not a lore goblin like with this show specifically.
Me neither.
I did enjoy that show a lot.
Yeah, same. I'm trying to remember like the particular details.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
One Piece though. One Piece though. But yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna get on this Itachi thing.
Yes, go. Sorry, continue. Go.
So, from what I remember, it was like, hey. You guys, like, remember the second was racist towards the Uchiha anyway, the second Hokage. He was pretty racist. And he was like, yo, these guys are a little too strong. And he knew that. He knew they were a little strong. And he also was like, I don't trust them. All this other stuff. We got to get rid of them because they're going to do a coup. Because I think they were planning a coup. I think they were. Because they were relegated to be just police officers.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they were relegated to just being police officers. And they're like, yo, you don't get to do anything else. But they're planning a coup because of how they're being treated already in the village. Like they're always kind of given the side eye anyway. So it was like they're going to try to come up and be like, nah, we're not taking this anymore. And he's like, all right, Itachi. He brought this man in
we
here.
could just reform things, but nah, you know.
Yeah, they could have asked for different options, but they didn't. And they went to
not
Itachi.
that Uchiha, but like everybody else. Like, oh, we could fix things or.
But like,
Yeah.
he brings Itachi in, and he's just like, listen, like here's the play. Your family's playing this thing. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to go over there and kill them. Like, you can choose to wipe them all out yourself. And Itachi's like, well, can my brother live? I'm like, nigga, wipe them out. Like, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Hold up. I'll put this in even simpler terms. Black people are in this little biome, right? And we're looking to be one thing. And we're like, man, we don't feel like we're being treated right. We better come back up. And then they hit up you. And you know me and God, so we're all hanging out. We're all boys. We're hanging out talking about anime. They hit you up, Thea, and they're like, kill them all so that they won't perform the coup. And your first thought isn't like, you all said y'all were scared of them, right? So clearly they have the strength to fight back and win. But I'm just going to kill them all in their sleep. That's what you did. You killed me in my sleep, Thea.
You're going to save one cat.
We could have done this thing together. We could have all backed each other up and done
cat.
it together and came up. It could have been like,
what about Blue? Can I keep him?
But instead you killed me in my sleep, you bitch. That's what happened.
You know, touche. You didn't think about it like that. You know?
What? No. I'll still say Itachi is cool. I don't think like he's look. Hold up. Look, like all that being said, yes, I think that was crazy, but I think Itachi in the show was still pretty cool. Like just him as a fighter and just like, all right, this happened.
Yeah. As far as just actual like being cool, he's cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like Naruto is one big redemption story for literally everybody except Sakura and Hinata. But anyways, like with and Sasuke. Anyway, Itachi, he realized it in the end. He's like, I shouldn't have kept this to myself. I should have talked to you, been honest with you, and I wouldn't have done this. And I would have, you know what I mean? Like he figured it out in the end. Obviously, he had been reanimated at that point, but he kind of figured it out. And then here's where I had the issue, because Sasuke, instead of going, okay, you did all this and sacrificed yourself and this, that for me. I'm going to continue on this good journey that you set me on. He said, nope, just kidding. I'm going to kill everybody. And
I remember that. And I was so confused.
Same.
But,
what an idiot.
Same.
Yeah, right? Here's the thing, right? I thought the same thing. I was like, what a fucking idiot. This kid is like, he's irreprehensible. Like, you can't help it. But then I thought about it after what we just talked about. Maybe Sasuke was onto something. Maybe Sasuke was like, yo,
kill them
what
all.
kind of ultimatum was that? Fuck
But he
them.
did it in such a weird way, though. And he was just like, I'm being an ultra terrorist.
He wasn't good at winning battttles either. That's
Oh.
the biggest problem with Sasuke.
I don't understand him, because it was like everything was finally cool. Everybody's like, you know, like, damn, we lost these people, whatever, we're finally good. Okay. You know, Tail Beast, what are y'all gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go do this. All right, hey, I'm gonna kill everybody. Just how the hell do you go from everything's cool to just going like, nah, and just continue?
Angry. Right.
No,
Right. After everybody else is cool, for real, even these spiritual beasts. I'm with you 100%. Like, I was mad at him before all that, but it's the fact that like even after everything was cool, he's like, I still got to fight. I'm not gonna be happy till I lose my arm.
I think killing Danzo would have made me feel better.
I think that too.
That would have been fair. I would have been like, yo, because Danzo's the one that put his brother up to it.
Yeah.
So that would have made me feel a lot better. I would have been like, okay, I'm cool with that, because the village didn't really have all that much to do with that shit.
Right.
Like,
and he did it in such a baller way too. And he's like, I'm still angry against.
I'm so mad. I was like, because when he killed Danzo, I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is great,
good.
awesome. Also,
Right.
by the way, somebody had ruined, like, they spoiled Jiraiya dying and Neji.
No.
So I knew it was happening. I just didn't know when, right? So it almost made it worse, because I was like on the edge of my seat every episode, like, is this it? Is this it? Oh no. Like, I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know what. And I saw this video recently. I found it so funny. Like, you know how some people take like the video of what's happening, where Jiraiya is like writing on the toad.
I think I saw this
You know what
video
I'm talking
recently.
about?
I saw it recently too, but yeah, tell it, go ahead.
Where he basically, like, it's just he, instead of writing whatever the number is, it was like a little note that said, this motherfucker 7 people.
Yes.
So
I love the internet.
It's great. It's great. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like Naruto's a big redemption story. I wish that in Boruto, like we wouldn't lose people like Rock Lee, or Mike, or because yes, now they're all like crazy god tier, whatever, Kaguya, blah blah blah. But I miss like the Rock Lees and like hard work pays off, and like that kind of stuff versus just like everybody's
magic powers. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, man.
Are you caught up with Boruto? I'm sorry.
Not completely. No. And I saw obviously like the big events. Like I saw like certain things. I don't know where you're at with it.
I'm behind. I'm like,
okay, yeah.
There's
like things that I saw spoiled, so I was like, fuck it, let me just go watch it. Watch the scene or whatever, and it sucked. But it was like, oh,
yeah, no, I feel it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, man, I just wish that those things wouldn't get lost because. So I don't know if you had heard this, but there's a where basically some of the voice actors from Naruto, Neil for Madara, Brian for Rock Lee, Tom Gibbs for Shikamaru. So they basically did like a rap album with Big Lug. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I heard this. I haven't heard the whole album, but I saw like snippets of it on Instagram, and I thought that was actually really dope.
Super, super dope. And I laughed every time because I listened to it sometimes in the gym, the Madara one. And I'm laughing because he said Kaguya only won on a technicality. And I for some reason I found that like hysterical because I even felt like the whole Kaguya thing, like, okay,
like
yeah, but I was like, man, but he was like,
running shit, like, yeah. He took out everybody and then all of a sudden she just
right. And I was like, how does it happen? Like, I think that he should have anyway. But so I have a gripe with that where I hate that he died like that.
Yeah.
But then he said Hashirama couldn't even backstab me properly. And I was like, oh my God. Like I found it so funny because obviously like Big Lug was a person to like write the the words or whatever, but I was like the little things that he added in there, certain people who have watched Naruto and have seen those like scenes, they're the ones like popping the most for that kind of stuff because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And Neil was like, said what do you mean? And I was like, the part about Hashirama, you're over here still trolling him. And he's like, yeah.
that was probably my favorite character. I was pretty upset.
Yeah that's why I got him tattooed. Like I don't know if you could see it with this like thing that I have. But yeah, it's like can you see it?
Yes. Yeah.
It's blurring on me.
Wait, there we go. Yes.
Holy shit.
That's it. That's baller.
The whole like side of my leg is Madara, and then the other side is Itachi, Naruto, Jiraiya, Rock Lee, and Kakashi. And then Neji has the whole backside.
Damn, that's love.
Yeah. But again, this is where people like, oh, she really does fuck with it like that. Oh, okay. So.
You know what really got me? We can move along after if you want to. I remember the death that got me the most because, okay, Jiraiya was really painful for everybody. Everyone involved was like, if you didn't feel anything after Jiraiya death, I'm like, wow, man, you something's going on with you. Yeah. But the Ozma death fucking snapped.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Man. Yeah. Shikamaru did that like in the best way, like just the best. Like I got it, like his whole redemption and his whole dealing with that death, and then taking out Hidan. I thought that was the best thing ever. In fact, that's probably my favorite moment in Shippuden.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Like when Shikamaru is burning, Hidan is like, don't pray to your god, pray like I'm your god now, it's like, damn, like I'm getting some goosebumps thinking about it. And then like when he lights the ghost.
Hidan was daddy too. I mean, I'm sure. I'm saying.
Wild dudes. Like this ain't even like I don't know. Like between Itachi and Hidan, you're getting the crazy motherfuckers.
but okay, but at the same time, like there's no type because it's literally like Itachi, Hidan, you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Like Hidan.
Hidan, Jiraiya. Also Rengoku. I know Rengoku. I'm obsessed with like Rengoku.
What is it about Rengoku? What is it about him?
He's just so cute. He's so it's like he's so good. He's almost too good. It's like good to a fault, you know?
Right.
It's like I was like, yeah, become a demon. Don't die. Like become a demon, please, because you're just no, I can't him. Like
that scene with his dad. I don't know if you remember that too well, but like when he went to his dad, his dad was like a drunk, and I was like, yo, why is he like this? And then he started tearing up because he lost his oldest son, and he was like, he was the original,
like in season 2, right?
Yeah, he was the final Shira,
yeah.
And then he finally started breaking down when
Tanjiro came through, yeah.
Tanjiro made him remember it, and he just started falling apart, and he was like, that was like he was drinking to like not think about it, and I was like, oh man, that is rough.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's certain stories, and I always say this. Like, I was like, man, I wish we could have the writers for Naruto or Demon Slayer and just have them write for WWE, because the fucking like the arc of how they do it is just so like even with oh my god puppet Akatsuki member what's his name
Sasori,
there you go.
Sasori, right? That whole thing art, okay? The fact that he like as a kid it was like him and he was with his parents and they were like cuddling him and you had those moments and then they obviously went and they died, but you remember that
reanimated
and then he had like he made them as puppets or whatever, and then those same puppets that he created to like cuddle him at night were the same ones that killed bitch. So I was like art, but you know, it's just I wish that I'm like I wish I could have them write for WWE because it's so just the way that they do it is just insane. It's just
maybe we gotta hit up the mangaka and just be like, hey,
you know,
I'm gonna stop you right there, Thea. I'm gonna stop you right there. Hold on, are you telling me that Vince McMahon ain't the best writer they all ever had?
No, actually, and it's funny because I'm not saying that. I mean, like, so basically, how it is like Vince is the head, right? So he'll make the decisions and he'll have like individual like ideas sometimes for people, but they have a creative team. So there's like a group of writers that will like be in a room and they'll all come up with ideas for the show. They'll have a layout for the show, and then he'll go like the next day he'll kind of go through it and say, I want to change this, we'll put this together. So basically they set up like a skeleton. Like I like to have this like little metaphor, I guess. He'll have like a skeleton or a base of the show, and then he will fill in the meat, like the good stuff. He'll fill in like, you know, whatever. But I think if during the writing process, if we had some of those writers in mixed with our writers, I think that they can come up with some really dope shit.
We need to get, you know, those writers into anime. That's what I'm hearing.
You know, it's I think interesting. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I was just saying I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
You know, because like, but you know, it's.
Or we guys need to see if the mangaka will like actually like write wrestling. Who knows? Maybe they're huge wrestling fans. I would not be shocked actually.
Like, what do you mean this character can't die? But no, it's we were just talking, like I jokingly said like Ninja said, Shishomaru also. So there's that.
Everyone likes, all the chicks like Shishomaru, and I've never got it. I'm just real like, that guy.
He's cool shit. He
just seems like such a douche, and then like
he's like what Itachi should be. Like he's what everyone thinks Itachi is, but he actually is him. He is him, God's will.
Itachi
wishes he was Shishomaru. Itachi is literally the same guy with less sociopathic tendencies. And he's a demon. That's why.
But at the same time, here's why I will not watch the second installment of Inuyasha, like the one with the daughters.
Yashahime.
Tell me why he's a pedo.
Hold on. Let's all calm down here.
How are they gonna make him do that?
Listen. Okay, I'm gonna break this down. I'm not that I'm fighting for pedo. I'm not fighting for pedo stuff. I'm gonna break this down. I'm gonna see if we can. I'm gonna debate this as hard as I can, real quick. Why do you think he's a pedo? Explain that real quick.
Pedo, groomer, whatever. But that girl was young when he met her.
Okay. I like that.
He was like a father figure to her.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden they got kids.
All right. Let me hit the. Let me. Can I take the stand real quick?
Oh man. Oh yes. I mean, go ahead. Yeah. Because he's the Yashahime expert.
All right.
Proceed.
I'm just gonna say he's a demon. He's over 500 years old. Everyone's young to him. All right. So unless he's just not allowed to date no more.
No, but like, why wouldn't he choose somebody that was older first?
Mature, yeah, or
Hey, yo, most of like after the what is it? After 40, like isn't the egg stuff not even really like it's not nearly as potent? I don't know. He was like, yo, this seems prime time, I guess.
At what?
Hey, yo,
7 years old? 9?
I have
do
to
demons
see.
even have children at 300?
Wow,
That works.
But here's my thing. Kagome was like 17-ish, around there.
I think they did the math. It wasn't she like 14, 15 or something?
I thought it was like 17. That's what I had heard. I could be wrong. But
hey, if she was 17, bro, I think everyone's tripping. Like, bruh, that's a different country. That's a feudal Japan. I think 17. I'm gonna let them have that, bruh. I'm not even worried about that.
If that is the thing, right? Kagome being that age, fine. Okay, cool. Right. At least she's
why go younger
towards the adulthood of her life. This girl was 9 years old, maybe younger. Yeah, it was like you can't start there and be father figure to her and then just one day go, you're looking kind of good. That's not gonna
Yeah.
No. I don't think with him, the way it looks in Yashahime, again, I don't know I stopped watching the show for the most part. But the way it looked in Yashahime, it didn't even seem like it was like you looking kind of good as much as like I should probably have some children.
And then again, it just goes back to like, okay, if you're just gonna just be like, I gotta have some kids, don't.
I like the quote insert there. You're looking kind of good.
Yeah, bro. I want to I had to use it make sure there's quotes there. Everyone knows, but because I'm literally right now it's hard because I know I'm sweating because I'm fighting on the side of
I know, bro.
I'm trying to make sure you understand what I'm saying.
I'm like, bro, where are you going?
No. I get what you're saying. It's more that for me, I was just like, why did it have to be her? Why couldn't it just be some?
Why couldn't it be somebody else? Right? There's another woman, right?
Could have been anybody. But that's where I had the issue with that. So I refused to watch that side of it. I was just like, nope. I remember he left her to do her thing with Kagome and them, and that's where it ended for me.
But I remember Richard Cox was Inuyasha and he was Big Cloud from Zoids. And I remember hearing it and being like, is that the same person? And I checked. And this is before the advent of the internet. So I had decided to wait for the show and I was like looking for it hella hard.
You get one chance.
That's insane. And it blew my mind that he was on 2 shows.
Yeah. I love that though. Cause it's literally you feel like that's like a little win. You're like, yeah, I knew that shit. Like it's dope.
That's pretty tight.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I wish is there any performances, any anime performances that you just seared into your mind? I guess probably that movie, right? But any others like that you're like, oh yeah, that voice actor killed that role and I'll never get that.
I think so I just feel like Madara, like Neil Kaplan, like his Madara is so iconic. Like there's just to me like nothing beats that. It's just like it's just so up there in my mind, like nothing beats that for me. But at the same time, like there's moments in the shows that I'm just like, man, I'll never forget that. Or like, and so we were there with Zach Aguilar at the after party thing. And him and I had we spoke after that. And I remember telling him, I was like, dude, like seriously, the whole scene with Rengoku's death and like your reaction to it, like that made me feel like that wasn't just like, oh, they're reading lines on a script. Like I felt that shit. So I was like, that's very, very cool for you to like, because it's again, if you're acting in person, you can like see the tears, you can see the, your movements or whatever.
You just do it through voice only.
It's so difficult. So I'm just like, you did that shit. Like that's like, all props to you for that, because like to be able to get emotional about like everybody's like, oh my god, they're just 2D characters, but to get emotional about that is because they really made you feel like they're in your heart for sure. So definitely the Rengoku scene. It's funny because my husband recently was like, the fact that my mom is she got me into like X-Men and like Batman anime series when I was a kid. Yeah.
Also rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. Shoot.
I literally was gonna say that. Yeah. Crazy though. Crazy.
I know.
Like awful. But so she got me into that when I was a kid. And then, I had her watching Naruto. She loves Rock Lee, which I was like not shocked at all.
There we go. Yeah. Good taste. Like good taste on her. Like it's great. Actually, one of my favorite characters, or my favorite character in OG Naruto, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Rock Lee, he's amazing. But like And even that, you know, Brian with Rock Lee and my guy, like their relationship was just, you know, like during that whole right, you know what I'm talking about? Like the
I
scene
thought
where
he was
he's
his
like,
dad.
I did too. I did too. Where he's like, well, if you go, I go. Like bawling. Like,
The thing is that people always forget is like Guy, I believe, had ninjutsu. Like he could actually use it. He just didn't because he didn't want to show, like he wanted to make sure Rock Lee knew he could succeed without it.
yeah.
So he literally like just trained all day with Rock Lee, like, and didn't use any of his other shit. I was like, this guy is cold as hell, man.
That's true.
That's so cool. I loved that. And it's cool that, you know, you can have those, like, man, you can relate to them, or everybody fucking remembers the popsicle scene with Naruto crying, he's holding the popsicles because you know it's about Jiraiya, you know. So there's those things where you're just like, fuck, like I relate to that in so many different ways, you know. So but my husband was like, it's cool that you can, like, because my mom and I are having this debate about whether Neji should have died or not, or whether Rengoku should have died or not. And he's like, are you talking to your mom about anime? And I was like, yeah, why? And he's like, I could never do that with my mom. It's crazy that you're on the phone with your mom having this deep ass conversation about anime.
That's
and
tight.
Yeah, no, like
I wish I could do that. My mom's still like Pokemon. Everything's Pokemon.
Yeah. I have Espeon right here actually.
Ooh,
I was live.
That's it.
Yeah. So, but my grandmother, I forced her to watch. Forced her. She tuned in after the first few minutes of Mugen Train, and she was, and she was mad at me.
Like hadn't seen anything, just Mugen Train. Wow.
Just Mugen Train, and because I had it on in the living room, and she was like looking at it, and then by the time it was getting close, like with like Akaza having his like arm through Rengoku, like right before that scene, she was like, "Is he gonna die? Thea, if he's gonna die, turn it off right now." Like,
did you keep it going?
So I was like, yeah, because she goes, is he gonna die? I was like, no, he's not. What? And
she would never do that to a main character like him.
She's like, you're not about to make me watch a show, love a character, and then he's gonna die. And I was like, I don't remember what happens actually.
that was what I was gonna say earlier. When you were talking about the person who's like, well, they're just 2D characters. I really don't appreciate like the minimalization of the whole medium in itself. It's just like any other movie or a novel or a play,
TV show, book.
WWE. That's I think that's why they all transsexually they overlap. Like why the fans for WWE generally like anime and why the anime fans generally like video games. It's because these are stories. At the end of the day, they're just stories, and since the beginning of time, people have liked stories.
Yeah.
If you can make it animated and make it to where like I can hear these voice actors and like represent the story like that, I appreciate that. I love it, regardless of it. If you think it's childish for whatever stigmas attached to it, but like, if you can make me feel different ways, I think that's amazing. I would never take away from what you guys even at the WWE are doing. Like, if you have a good storyline, it's a good storyline, whether it's acted in real life or not. The other thing I wanted to say was, I don't know if you agree to this, but you were talking about characters who like their voice actors just kind of make you feel things. And Vegeta, who was that? Is that Sabat?
Chris Sabat,
yeah. Oh my God, his monologues go so goddamn hard. Like, he's the only character who gets full monologues in that series. Everyone just kind of says things, and then Vegeta will have like a whole speech with like panels playing and like I was on the stars crying. Like, and I was like, God damn, bro, like you're hitting it. And I was like, what was it? The Final Atonement. I still watch that randomly. I remember.
You're talking about Majin Buu, right?
Yeah, with Majin Buu when he killed himself. When Vegeta killed
himself.
Majin
Vegeta, yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, this isn't gonna work. So he blew himself up. He told Trunks and them to get out of there. And they were like, and Piccolo told me, he asked Piccolo, he's like, hey man, what's gonna happen when I die? Am I gonna get to have my body like, Goku? And Piccolo's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You haven't done the same shit as him. They're not gonna give you the same grace. And he's like, that'll be all. He's like, that'll be all. And he let him leave. And then he just powered up and blew himself up. And then the fucking, it was just like the craziest shit. And I still randomly watch that when I'm driving my car and almost crash every time. It's fantastic.
Now I kind of want to watch it actually. Now I'm like, I kind of see that now.
Girl, please. You and your husband. Go get tonight.
Yeah, right. And it's funny too, because like when I had seen Superhero, like when I got back, I was telling him, I was like, it was amazing, and then this happened, and I don't want to spoil it, but then this happened.
But I'm gonna spoil it.
Yeah, I was like, but oh man, I can't tell you. And then I was like, oh wait, oh no, I can't tell you. Damn it. So I'm like going back and forth. I'm like, he's like, it's okay, you can tell me. I'm like, no. It's not gonna mean anything unless you see it in real time. And we're going back and forth. And I brought my cousins to the movie theater to watch it because they had never seen Dragon Ball. And I was like, you don't even have to. Yeah, I was like, you don't even have to. As long as you know this is Goku, this is Vegeta, this is Piccolo, blah, blah, blah. You'll be fine.
It's
and
a good self-contained story, right? Yeah. I was actually wondering as I was watching it, I was like, could somebody who doesn't know what the franchise is, could they enjoy it? Because I loved it, but longtime fan. Well, what they think? They
loved it. They were just like, now I want to go and watch it. I was like, okay, so now we're gonna watch the Broly movie. And then like we went into it. So but they loved it. Like they were like, oh, we want to know more, like, so that's why so my brother was like, he loved Dragon Ball Z, like he was obsessed. So fast forward when I took him and my my cousins at the same time, but he had already seen it. Like the second it came out, he was like waiting at the movie theater for it to come out. He watched it, he loved it, and he was like, okay, for Halloween, because he just had a baby girl, so she's 1 now. She'll be 2 in July. So I was like, okay, for Halloween, you need to be Gohan. With the wig and everything, and she's got to be Pan. And he's like, but how do we do it with like the outfits and stuff? And I was like, I got you.
Hey.
Honestly, Pan actually, like now I think about it, with the way fashion's going right now, Pan actually has a sick ass outfit on. That's a cold ass fit.
So in superhero,
the movie,
I don't know about superhero. I didn't get to see superhero yet.
Like, honestly. Are you talking about like her old like Dragon Ball Z fit?
The GT one, like when she becomes like a little.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like I said. Like it's a simple fit. It's like what would it be? It's like some folded jeans, like capried up.
I'm looking.
She got the tank top, the red tank top. She got the bandana, which is saucy as hell, and then she got the what would the boots would be like some what are those boots you just recently got, Godswill? The
like the Doc Martin type of deal?
The Doc Martens. Bro, that's a fit. That's absolutely a fit. That's sick.
Easy to cosplay too. Easy to cosplay. Like I have to show you the picture of Halloween for them because I was like, I did a great job. But it was
honestly, I do want to see like how this happened. So it actually happened, huh?
Yes, yeah. So I got him the wig because there's no way I could do that. But I was like, okay, there's this one picture of Gohan and Pan where she has like a little pink onesie and the bib says Pan, and she's got the little bobo like the little like hair tie with the little balls on it and her little hair sticking up, and he's got on this like green vest with a pink shirt and a blue, like, so it's almost identical with between them two. So but yeah, I love doing that stuff when it comes to like cosplay or any kind of stuff like that, where I'm just like, there's no costume for it, there's not enough time to make it. How can I like makeshift this whole thing to make it look exactly like it? So I went through Amazon for like hours and I was like, okay, this is this color. It's coral. Okay, we're gonna go do here. And then this, I have to get this bib. It's a pink color. Yeah, so I was like, this pink color bib, I'm gonna have it customized to say Pan. So I had to get it made. Like it was a whole thing.
Wow.
But we did it. So yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I definitely want to see how this looks, but that's beautiful. Like I'm really happy to hear that you're able to get your family into it. Like you said, your mom, your grandma, your cousins, your husband, right? Like has he watched the movie yet?
So he loves like he showed me Vampire Hunter D like a long time.
Okay, classic.
He got me into the Studio Ghibli movies because I remember when I was like super sad, there was like a good portion of time where I was like super sad in my life, and I was like, he's like, okay, I have the perfect thing. So it was like Studio Ghibli movies like every day, and it was like Howl's Moving Castle, like Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, like everything. That's beautiful. Like My Neighbor Totoro, everything. So and he likes Castlevania, like he likes that kind of anime.
Okay, yeah, he's in. Okay,
more like the older, but like specifically drawn, like he has a certain style that he likes.
Hand drawn, older, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's not into like the 3D type of stuff today.
He's not into like Castlevania, like the newer one that came out recently, like the 20.
He does like Castlevania, yeah.
Okay, sure. That shit was hard.
That was hard.
Yeah, he likes but he also saw me watching Inuyasha, and he's like, I think I can get into Inuyasha. He's like, it's not like too far-fetched. Like I think I can get into that, especially because I was like, but you kind of remind me of Shishomaru sometimes.
Everything you said that's better taste than your girlfriend who's like talking about Sasuke. That is the worst. That's worse than like an Itachi. Sasuke is a loser, bro. That guy thinks he's so good. He loses every fight in that show. Every last one.
Beat Danzo.
Who did he whoop besides Danzo? Danzo was like 80.
I mean, to be honest, and I'm gonna say something that people might get mad about, but if I could, I would trade Sasuke to get Neji, Jiraiya, and Itachi back.
Wow. I mean, hey, I'm with you.
Or even
the story be completely different.
Just one.
The story be wild. It'd be 100% different. Like it'd be a completely different story if Sasuke's not there.
Facts.
Okay, but so that's interesting that you say that, because sometimes I do that where I'll think like, okay, well, what could happen? Like, what would it look like now if Itachi stayed from being reanimated? Because he did get control of it. You know, he was in control of it for a bit. I was like, so what happens if he actually got to stay and then Naruto ended up killing Sasuke after their fight where they lost the arm? Like, what would it have looked like? You know? I mean, Sakura still would be lonely and simping over him, I guess.
Right.
Her shrine and shit.
Yeah.
I should go for Itachi. He's like, oh, you're sort of close enough, right?
I'm sure she would. And I'd be like,
That Uchiha bloodline. Come on, let's go.
She's terrible. That's why they need glasses. It's just a thing. So.
She's a medical ninja too.
She's like, yo, these new Uchiha are weak as hell. What happened?
Right. So I know that sounds bad, but no, I think when it comes to like, because somebody said that too, they're like, well, if Hinata and Sakura weren't gonna have their babies, then they would just like be with their cousins again. And I was like, again, wait, where is that in the whole thing? And then they're like, well, it's kind of like
keeping the bloodline,
like unwritten, like yeah, it's like this like implied. Yeah. That's kind of implied. That how do you think that they keep the Byakugan? I was like, stop. Right there.
How do you think they got those eyes like that?
Hey, and this goes back to what I was saying before. Older times, I mean, some things are allowed. Sesshomaru was okay.
Oh, bro, don't bring that back up anyways. Oh my god.
Yeah. No, but I was like, no way. But I mean, I would love to see like what Neji would have been. Which, did you know? I found this out recently that you probably didn't know this, but apparently Boruto is like some kind of way, like the name relates to the word screw, and then screw is Neji in Japanese.
Oh no,
which is why I didn't know that.
Because I heard like Boruto is supposed to be like bolt, like a.
That's what
like
it is.
Bolt,
it's like like it's like bolt, and it's like a relation to screw, which screw means Neji. So you mean screw in Japanese.
Oh.
I was like, oh, okay, that's it. I would still rather have Neji here, but that's fine.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
that's just me. But I did tell, because what's funny is sometimes things go full circle, right? And like I can talk about this for fucking ever, but sometimes like fans will be like, oh, Zelina, like, you know, you need to like fight Ronda and you need to like win the championship from her and stuff like that. And I'm like, I have no control over this. I would love that. But I have no control over that. So, you know, and I'd be like, my God, you know, like, but then I caught myself not that long ago going, I can't believe you're literally doing the things that would piss you off. So remember I told you that I think that Steve Staley, Neji's voice actor, thinks I'm psychotic, because during the time that I found out that Neji died, once I saw it happen, I was pissed and I didn't watch the show for 2 weeks. I was like, I don't know, I think I was on the couch, but I was like drinking wine and I was like, this ain't right, man. This isn't fucking right. Like, I hate this. Like, I hate my life. Like, this sucks. Like, what, you know, like, I hated it. So then I went on Instagram and I was like, Steve Staley. So like I went through and I
wine
found
drunk.
Well, it was, and the thing is, it's like, I don't really drink. So it's like, It was one of those things where it's kind of like, I was having it with pasta. So it's kind of like, all right, you know, but then I saw, and I'm like thinking, he's not gonna fucking see this. Like in my brain, I didn't think it. So I was like, hey, you need to go back in time.
Great start. All right.
I know. And undo what y'all just did, because that's some bullshit. And whatever else I said. But so like, and I was like, yeah, send. I completely forgot about it. Next thing I know, Huh? No, I sent it to him in a DM on Instagram. Yeah. So I was like, whatever, right? Didn't think he's gonna see it because I was like, but I was like, okay. And then next thing I know, I see a reply. I was like, oh no. That's not even complete sentences, Thea. What is that? Like, what were you saying here? And I said, you need to go back in time episode. That's not English. So I was like, what am I saying? But he basically wrote, LOL. Hi. He said, I wish that we can do that because then that means I still have a job. But he like tried to make me feel better. I was like, no, like Neji, like he played his part and it's a beautiful story with the bird in a cage and we're talking about all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's great and all, but I need Neji back. And he's like, oh, but then for my birthday, randomly, he like sent me just a voice note that said, Byakugan. And I was like, oh my God, it's like he's still here. I was so like just completely fangirling out over it.
It bothers me a little bit that you said that, like, he played his part, bird in the cage, all that good stuff. I get it. You know who else played their part? Half the cast. They didn't have to be there anymore. What character development did Kima have? He's a useless character.
Wow.
When Neji died? Come on, man. Let's stop it.
Bro,
let's cut it out.
To be honest with you, like the first time I actually cried watching Naruto was because so there's an episode, I think it's a filler episode where something like almost happens to Akamaru. Like where he, like, you know what I'm talking about? That's like he's like sick or something like that. And I was like, oh no, he's gonna die. Like and again, I was sitting next to my husband.
Wait, is this before? Did you know it was filler, or did you? This is before, like you knew filler? Because I watched like 100 episodes, like the Naruto filler, and I was like, oh, this is all filler. That's great.
I had no idea. I just watched it all the way through. I had no clue, and I was also very confused by the time I got to the end of the show because obviously the fight with Naruto and Sasuke happened way before the end. So I was like, that's it. Are we not going to go back to what the fuck happened with Sasuke and Naruto? Why are we here? How did we get from there to here?
As a child, I agree with you. As a child, it's very confusing not understanding what filler is because you think everything is canon. So there's a part, like people don't know this because like everyone understands there's a like my filler list, everything now. But back in the day, we would just watch shit. It was whatever was on. And there's a part in Naruto where like they literally end up fighting, like the guys leave to go take care of a mission. And they get attacked by a village of sumo wrestlers and kangaroos or something. Kangaroos? Like, yeah, it was like sumo wrestlers and animals that could like box. Wow. And they're like attacking the village while the men are gone. And I was like, what is happening?
Roger enter the chat.
Yeah, it was a fever dream. It was insane. Oh
yeah, but that's also funny, right? Like I didn't realize it when I was watching it though, but even so for background, when I was a kid and I was watching it, like it was one of those things where I liked, and then I noticed that everybody else was getting into it and I started to get pissed. So I was like, no, I'm not watching this anymore. Like I don't want to watch this now.
Fight the power.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that, blah blah blah. And then I just stopped. And then God, I don't even know how long ago it was when I started watching it again and like all the way through. But it was like I started it and then I just went completely all the way through to Shippuden. I was like, I don't know where that portion of my life went because I downloaded it like every time I was on a plane, anytime I was in the gym, anytime I had any like time to have it on so I can watch it, I had it on. So it was like whatever time frame that was in my life, I don't remember doing nothing else. I just remember watching that. But like I even had it on in the locker room. Like I was watching it in the locker room before matches and I'd be like, okay. And then I'd run out and like go and like do my match and then I come back and I press play and I'm like, okay. And they're like, how do you do this? Like, how do you just like, I'm like, shh, hold on. I'm watching this.
Like, I'm gonna tell you do that one more time for One Piece. All right. Just do it for One Piece and your life will be changed and it'll be great. You don't have to do it ever again. Just one more time.
Well, I know a lot of people say that One Piece is very long, right? Like it's like a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
so I'll be gone for like 3 months.
Yes, in 3 months. You can do this in 3 months. I believe in you.
He's like, easily. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. No, but seriously, the first time I ever like cried was because I thought something was gonna happen to Akamaru. And my husband was like, why are you crying? And I was like, something almost happened to Akamaru. And he was like, wait, nothing actually happened to the dog, but you're like crying about it. And I was like, stop.
The potential of it.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Exactly.
The filler episode of all things too, but hey.
Yeah, right. That's wild.
I know. I know. And I think I wanted to get to One Piece actually. I haven't, like I said, I wanted to get through Attack on Titan, and then go to Jujutsu Kaisen, and then
Okay.
I'll jump.
All right, that's fair. That's wonderful. Jujutsu Kaisen is wonderful.
Yeah.
We'll have to send you some manga for sure. Would you like manga or do you prefer anime right at the moment?
Honestly, it depends on where I am and what I'm doing. I like doing both. Because if I'm like doing dishes or something, or if I'm like
Yeah, you can
packing,
multitask.
have it on in the background.
Yo.
Usually, it's I'll have it. But if I'm on a plane or something, then I can
You're
kind of,
focused.
read it.
I
Yeah.
feel it.
So,
I feel that. No,
yeah. I also ruined Demon Slayer like that, like by accident. When I was in a comic book store, I was like, "Oh, this is the new oh shit."
Oh no.
I flipped the page and I was like, "Oh God."
That's Michael
Okay.
Jackson.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh no, this is sucky." And now
That's
I
why
know.
I can't read the Demon Slayer manga. I'm like, I just gotta wait for the show to come out because it's been real heat. Oh my
Yeah.
god, especially that last season.
Oh my God, I know. Like, but to be fair though, like I watched it in Japanese first and then I watch it in English, but it's oh God, because a friend of mine, actually the tattoo artist that did my leg, he was like, "Oh wait, you haven't watched Entertainment District yet?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, like I'm about to watch it like once I get home, blah blah." And he's like, "I'm gonna say something that you're gonna be really pissed about." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "I would definitely choose Tengen over Rengoku." And I was like,
That happened to a lot of people.
"Sure?"
That happened to a lot of people. I've talked to Gazo about this before. I have a friend who got a Rengoku tattoo, and they were like, "Yeah, he's my favorite." And I'm like, "These niggas don't know that Tengen's coming out." And then everyone started cosplaying Tengen, and I'm like, "Idiots."
Well, there's more skin.
How'd you feel about Tengen?
I liked him a lot, but he wasn't Rengoku for me. He wasn't. Like, I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll take you on a Friday," but like, it's not. He wasn't Rengoku. Like, I'll marry you.
Oh.
It wasn't like that.
So the kill, fuck, marry thing. He's not the marry. That's what you just told me. Oh man, poor guy.
No, Rengoku was. I mean, but
he got his wives. He's cool. He's chilling. He's not.
Yeah,
sussy.
he's got his wives. He's cool. He's cool with it. But it's like, however, so normally, like if people, especially recently, once I returned, oh my God, what month are we in? November?
Times keeps on going.
They do well, especially like in WWE. I feel like things just fly. I don't remember when it was that I think it was October when I returned, because I had surgery and then I had to come. So it was like WrestleMania happened in April, and then I was gone up until October. So when I finally came back, I have blonde hair. Today I have black hair because I don't have my wig on. But on TV I have blonde hair, and when like sometimes I'll keep the wig on for like, I don't know, depends on how I'm feeling, if I'm like lazy or whatever. But for Halloween I was like, okay, there's certain things I want to have like cosplayed for Halloween, and initially it was just going to be Khaleesi, and then I was like, oh, but I do want to do Daki too, and I do want to do Tengen, and I do want to do all these things. So but Halloween got really complicated because I also did a Rock Lee video. So it was yeah, I did like a Rock Lee video. So Brian, basically at the end of that song, that Hard Work song, he goes, "Sakura, I love you." He re-recorded it to say, "Zelina, I love you." So I put that on there, and then I like cosplayed as Rock Lee and like basically lip synced the whole song. But it was like, and then I also cosplayed my cat cosplayed Neji. Also, I had to get a cat wig and everything. It was a whole thing. My cat's cosplay also.
Wow. Yeah. Did you post
Blue,
that?
Huh?
You posted that?
On Instagram. Yeah.
I gotta peep that. That's awesome.
Yeah, because there's a part where he goes, "Neji, are you watching me? I hope not on the potty though." So then I took my cat and I put him in like the little like the hidden leaf like little jacket, the vest with a wig. So he was Neji and he was in the litter box looking at me. So yeah, wow. So it was like on the potty though, but Neji. So it worked out. So I did it like that. So I did that video, and then I did Khaleesi, but then I was like, no, I feel like I need to have like something really epic for Tengen and for Daki. So for them, I haven't chosen locations yet, but I have the cosplays done. So now, because like with the wig, I can literally do anything. Like with Tengen's hair, it's that hair color. So I can just do it how he does it. And then with Daki, I just got to add the green tips at the bottom, and it's easy, So I'm trying to pick the locations now. Now it's more like, okay, do I want to do it digitally, like behind a green screen? Do I want to go on location and do some stuff? So that's the fun part. That's probably the most like adventurous that I get on my days off. So.
That's tight. No, that's awesome though.
Yeah,
That's amazing. I can't wait till that comes out. Let me know. And also, I'm gonna follow up about the Halloween pictures. I need to see those. Like that sounds amazing,
dude. Because I have this sounds so stupid. I have a TikTok for my cats because there's 7 of them. So I was like, I can have enough content for them. But I dressed them all up. So my one cat, Phoebe, she dressed up as Inosuke, and she had like the little like boar head and everything. And because it had like a little cutout for her face. So it's like
I was like, you put like a whole mask on the cat, it's like, and they just
no, it says like a little hat where it's like her face was open, but everything was the board.
That's awesome.
And then the little like, thing. So she was Inosuke. My white cat Toddy was Tanjiro with the little green and black jacket. And he even had the earrings. It was really cute.
Oh, that's live. That's so
yeah.
sick.
My one cat, she's a Torty cat. So she's got like browns and caramel colors in her hair. So I made her Nezuko. I was like very particular about all. It's like ridiculous. Blue, who you saw, was Rengoku. Because he had like shades of yellow in his hair and like golds and stuff. So I made him Rengoku. Who else? Oh, my cat Willow was Shinobu. So her and I got to be Shinobu. Yeah.
Yo, how did you get the earrings on the cat? Like, how'd that work actually? Like, I was about that the whole time you were talking afterwards. I was like,
yeah. Well, so on the jacket, little like green and black jacket for Tanjiro, they have it coming. Oh wait, sorry. My phone did something weird. So it comes up a little bit like this way, and then it has it as if it loops down. So it comes up, loops forward. So it looks like it's earrings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the way that it's structured. It's just it's just like a jacket, and it comes up like a collar almost, and it's got the dangly earrings.
That's it. Yeah, I was like, I can't imagine a cat like you clipping something even on its ear and not like messing with it the whole time. So.
Oh yeah. No, and I mean they sit there.
Cool cats.
Yeah, they know that they're gonna get treats anyway. Because I have the treats like here, and then I have the camera here, and they're just like, we're gonna entertain this for like 3 minutes. She's gonna laugh her ass off, and then we're gonna get to the treats.
Tricks of the trade. I'm wondering like how I should do for my own cat. So this is brilliant.
Oh yeah, I have the thing. I'm like shaking it and like taking pictures at the same time. Like that's usually how they'll like sit there. Like the one, I have an orange cat who's actually really skittish, so I made him Zenitsu. Yeah, and then I think that was it. No, Tomioka. I made one of them Tomioka. So
wow.
Yeah, the little black cat. So black hair, little black cat, Tomioka. So
that's so dope.
Yeah, I have to show it to you now.
Yes. I gotta see this. Like, and shoot, we might have to post this ourselves, honestly. So this is sick. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. We need to bring you back on, or just honestly just geek out. I don't care like how we do it again, but like this was fantastic. Like you're showing me like so much about Naruto. I'm like, oh, did that really happen? Am I really a Naruto fan? I don't think so at this point.
You remember the dog's name? That is impressive.
Facts. Okay. Yeah, I forgot. I just know Kiba, and then I was like, Kiba's dog.
I barely remember Kiba. So
understandable.
Yeah, he just did that.
But it's weird because like I think, to be honest, I go back and watch it sometimes. They're just randomly like there's some episodes where I'm like, oh, that's really funny when so and so did this, and then I'll just go back and watch it. So it really depends on what kind of mood I'm in, but I don't know. I don't think it'll ever get old for me. So
I hope not. Yeah.
No.
Same. I there was a time I thought I had to give it up. I was like, oh, I gotta be an adult. I gotta give up anime and video games, and that was the most depressed I'd ever been in my life. I was like, what am I doing?
No.
Yeah, I don't plan to. It's only getting better too. Many things are getting better. I wouldn't say everything, but yeah.
To be fair, like my mom used to be like, oh, like video games aren't gonna get you.
Here we are now. We're in millions.
Now.
Millions of dollars if you're really good, but yeah. I mean,
it's a thing.
No, you have to be that good. Personality will get you far on like YouTube or Twitch.
Shoot, that's the truth. That's the truth. I'm really happy that you're cosplaying and like you're putting yourself out there like that. Like it's so crucial to have like people like be genuinely like about what they're about, and like to show people like, yeah, you can be balanced person and a big geek. You know, it's like I think that's where like how it should be.
Absolutely. Like, I don't know if I said this anywhere yet. I might have. I don't think I have. The next cosplay. There's 2 cosplays that I have right now. One's done already. One is being made still. The Royal Rumble one I have to keep quiet, but the one that's supposed to be shown before the Royal Rumble or after, whenever. I did this because basically the girl I was telling you about, Rhea, who likes Dragon Ball, she loves Vegeta, and Vegeta's my favorite too. But she already cosplayed him for WrestleMania. She was Vegeta, so I thought that was cool. I was like, okay, you can have that. I'll let you keep him. But I was like, I'll be Frieza. So she's like, well, that's perfect. You're small. I was like, thank you for that. That's
all right, bitch.
I was like, yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. She literally tweeted that too. She was just like, yeah, that's perfect. You're small and bitchy. And I was like, I love you.
Yo, hit her with that comment back. You like Sasuke.
So yeah. So I was like, I think I'm gonna do Frieza. So Frieza is one of the my gear. It's finished, luckily. And I have these really dope like Frieza high tops. They're like these custom high tops where it's all purple and it's got Frieza. It's super
I know what
sick.
you're talking about. I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wear that with the actual cosplay, and I'm having like everything like to be made, like everything. So that's one. But the Royal Rumble one, that one, when you see it, you're like, what the fuck? So it's really, really cool. So
hype. So
that's
hype.
a good, that's a good thumbnail though, guys. Well, hey, we have the deets on her next costume, Frieza. And we could kind of allude that we might know the Royal Rumble costume and then just lie, and just not have it.
These guys lied to us.
Right.
Oh man.
No, this was so dope. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. Like this, it was just such a joy to hear like all this, and she was making me think like maybe I need to show my mom Mugen Train. Maybe that's the key.
Rengoku is the one. If anyone, it's right. He'll like sucker them in, and then by the time
they're gonna be all right by the end. Don't worry. Yeah, it's all a dream.
Well, my mom is also a big sucker for the whole like mom, is the
Good
reason
boys.
that like
Tanjiro types. Yeah. I mean,
So,
hey, he's a good guy. He's a good boy.
Yeah, he's just so cute. So, but yeah.
Anyway,
literally, so anytime, like I love this. So
I'm going to hit you up some more for sure. Honestly, like I feel like I need to bring on some more Naruto people. We always talk about One Piece, so maybe I'll diversify with Naruto talk. Actually,
yeah. Well, that's why I was like, well, they're having another like Queen's Crown tournament thing, so obviously I'm not going to be queen forever. And like, so whenever they're going to do a new one, but if that does happen, or when it happens, I have to have different like entrance music. So I was like, should I get Madara to do it again, or should I ask somebody else? Like, I don't know who to
you got
do
options.
it.
You got options. Yeah.
I don't know who to ask. I was like, I don't know if I should ask Neil to do it again, but then he's like, ultimate evil. Am I going to stay evil? I don't know. So like, there's like,
yeah, it has to be a really powerful character too. I feel like someone with a good presence. Madara has a very specific presence for anime characters. I mean, Frieza could work.
Yeah. However, I don't know the voice actor for Frieza.
We do. Yeah. Like
Damon, you do?
Yeah. Like we know Linda Young. She actually performed for us. Like we did a Cowboy Bebop party like a while ago. And
cool.
She had her big band play and she sang. And then also Damon Mills, like he's great. So yeah. Hey, well, let's make some things happen. Hey, if you got ideas, hopefully we can help you.
Yeah. See, there we go. Now we just gotta like brainstorm and see which one's gonna fit best. Yeah.
Let's talk about this. Yeah, we got some ideas, and also your creativity. I'm excited to see like what you got. So yeah, let's see what we can do.
Yeah, for sure. I'm already thinking like, that's gonna be really cool. Then should I save the Frieza one for like my brain right away goes to like, what am I gonna do?
Well, I don't know what your other one was. I was just thinking Frieza was the first thing that came. I was like, he does have a powerful presence too, or he used to.
Yeah.
Now he's more of just like a character that's like cool.
He's still cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool, but like there's like
not
a
like
presence,
a scary
presence before.
Yeah. Although like
a very distinct voice, and I think that's why partially why I like Madara so much is because when you hear that, that's Madara Uchiha. Like you just right off the bat, like especially if you've seen it, like it, but I was like, okay, that's also a very distinct voice. Like people would know that especially if they know Dragon Ball, like oh yeah, that's for sure Frieza.
Yo,
honestly, another person with a big presence, you haven't finished Jujutsu Kaisen, but Sukuna is pretty nuts. Like, that's a very deep voice too. I feel like that's a very and that outfit would be pretty live. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
the little whatever.
Yeah, watch Jujutsu Kaisen as soon as you can. Like that'd be really cool.
Yeah. See, but this is the brainstorming process that I'm talking about. It's like, let's get something really cool, you know what I mean? So, yeah, right, exactly. But listen, the coolest things come out of that. Like the very coolest things come out of that. So I'm always open to that kind of stuff. So, and it's funny because I thought too, I was like, should it be an art ticket? Should it be a demon circuit? Should it be this? Like there's like so many different things that went through my mind. And then I was like, right, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many. I was like, Goku? No. Vegeta? No. And I just kept going through it and I was like, I don't know. So it's and then I even thought at one point when I thought I was gonna turn into a good guy, storyline wise, I was like, yo, how funny would it be to get Inosuke to do that? And then I was like, I feel like people would think I'm crazy. I was like, I don't know.
It'd be dope. The people who get it would get it and be like, yes. Absolutely.
But the people who wouldn't get it would think I'm psychotic.
You alienate so many people. Yeah, it'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Then you get everyone to Demon Slayer. Like, I got to see what she's talking about. And
right, and just come out with the boarhead. I actually still have mine. So
we got options. We got options.
we have options. Good.
I'm excited.
You look pretty sick. I think you'd look pretty sick, especially if, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you work out. I think you like anyone who has a good physique looks really good in that Nosuke cosplay too. Like you have to wear the whole board head, but like pull it out and run up to the ring like that would be pretty live.
Yeah, I have a picture actually of me as Inosuke holding up the board head. But that was behind a green screen. So I was like, When I was trying to think of the Tengen one, I was like, should I do that? I don't know. But yeah, I have that one up there too. So you'd be surprised. Like somebody the other day put up like not all of my cosplays that I've done, but like some of their favorite ones. And it was like Jade from Mortal Kombat, Akasha from Queen of the Damned, and like a bunch of them like all together. And I was like, oh my God, I've actually done so many and not all of them are on there. So, you know, because like for the Royal Rumble, like I'm usually known for like, usually the one who's gonna cosplay. People just know I'm gonna do it. So the first year was Vega for Street Fighter. Then the next one after that was Sindel from Mortal Kombat. And then it was Madara. So now I'm like, I don't know. Well, I do know now, but who's gonna be next? But you know, it's just it's this kind of stuff is fun for me. So it's cool for the fans too, because they're like, oh, who's you gonna be this time? Who's you gonna be this time? And so, you know.
Yeah.
Zendel is such an off the wall one. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's like you have to be in the fandom. Like you have to know these characters to be Zendel. Like that shows that you're like, you know what you're talking about. It's not just like Goku. You know what I mean? Like everyone knows Goku.
Right.
Yeah, right. Even if still
Zendel, Madara,
they look hype.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is like Zendel and Madara, they require a little bit more of like actually watching to know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like, you know, you kind of beat up the gatekeepers.
I like that though. I like that you said that because I appreciate that. Because a lot of people feel like that's like saying like, oh, Sailor Moon's my favorite or Pikachu's my favorite. Like, yo, no shit.
Yeah, there's standard answers, but
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
like you're not wrong for those answers, but at the same time, it is really cool when you have like that more deep cut type of answer. You know, it's like a show that you actually know it. But hey, whatever. Yeah. I'm excited. Now this like. Anyways, let me just stop it right now.
You have a
fantastic.
You have a friend in me, a very nerdy friend in me. So whenever you guys want to do this, I'm totally down.
Dope. I'm gonna. Yes, let's get this brainstorm going. This is tight.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Anything you want to say, Josh, or are you about to say something?
Oh, to close out.
Yeah.
For me, I would say for everybody, but you specifically, Thea. I had to read the name. I was like, we're talking.
Thea, not from Trinidad. Yes.
Yeah, no, definitely. Vegeta's Final Atonement. Watch that. Look it up on YouTube. Everybody, do that. Feel what I feel every day. It's amazing. But yeah, I'm good. It was amazing meeting you. The vibe was like immaculate. You're like just enjoyable to be around, so it was cool. Yeah.
Ditto.
Absolutely.
You guys are awesome for sure. I had so much fun with this. You guys are dope.
That's what we are. That's dope.
Stop it.
See?
Yeah, that's really the show name. So yeah, that's dope. And anyways, thank you everyone for being dope and listening to us and for participating in this conversation. Like this was honestly a joy to be a part of. Yeah, honestly, like we got to bring it back on.
For sure. I know. I felt like it just flew by, but I was like, yeah, like I'm totally down for whenever you guys want to do it. So, but thank you for having me. It's fun.
Absolutely. Any last things you want to say or plug or anything?
I guess socials is just Zelina Vega WWE for everything, for Twitter, Instagram, everything. And I actually had to check that because I wasn't even sure what my name was anymore. But yeah, just Zelina Vega WWE on everything.
Dope. We'll be putting that in the bio and all that for sure. But hey, everyone knows who you are because you're cool. But yeah, anyways, thanks for being a part of this. This was a fantastic episode. Everyone listening, thank you for sticking all the way through the end. It was worth it. We're gonna make a lot of clips out of this. It's gonna be a great time. Stay dope, everyone. Peace.
Peace.